شكرا يا جماعه.
بعد اذنكم يا جماعه.
بعد اذنكم. اتفضلوا.
يا جماعه
معلش
كل اللي واقفين دول. طب بقول لك
مساء الخير على حضراتكم. بستأذنكم لو نبدأ نقعد، احنا هنبدأ على طول في خلال دقايق قليلة. بشكركم جدا.
بسرعه خلاص خلاص يلا عشان هم عايزين
بستأذن حضراتكم مرة تانية نبدأ ناخد المقاعد بتاعتنا. الإيفنت هيبدأ في خلال دقيقة.
J'ai travaillé avec elle pour la Ligue en Belgique et en Hollande, bien sûr. Écoute,
le même jour je commente la France. On se voit après.
j'étais déjà, je me réjouissais déjà.
Moi aussi, on va faire le même jour. Bonne interview.
Merci.
يلا يا جدعان نقعد يا جدعان كبار يا رجاله بقى. نقعد يا رجاله بقى.
خلاص يا رجاله.
انا ورا
احنا الكلام والله احنا بناخد الكلام في الاخر يعني.
كريم قاطع لي الشاشه.
ايه يا عم؟ قاعد احنا لسه بنديك عفايه بس. يا عم اقعد. يا تقعد يا تقعد.
اسلوك بقى ورا الكاميرا ده يا رجاله. ورا الكاميرا يا شباب بعد اذنكم. ورا الكاميرا يا رجاله.
يا جماعه ممكن نقعد. خلاص يا كابتن خلاص احنا عملنا فيلم.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Could you please be seated
احنا ما عندناش تعليمات ان حد يقف هنا خالص. عايزين نرجع مكاننا.
and lower your voice? Gentlemen of the media, please, could you lower the voice, please? It's time to start. Assalamu alaikum. Bonjour. Guten Tag. I welcome all of you to the second football summit. My name is Anthony Baffo, and I'm not alone to introduce a very nice looking lady to you. Merham, very famous here on TV, who will join me after my speech. Honorable guests, esteemed colleagues, and passionate football leaders. It's an honor to stand before you today at the second Football Access Summit here in Cairo, a city rich in football history and ambition. This is my second participation in this great gathering, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to contribute once again to the discussion shaping the future of our game. I would like to begin by extending a special welcome to some distinguished guests whose presence greatly enriches this summit. The Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, whose leadership continues to inspire the development of sports across Egypt and beyond. The newly elected President of the Egyptian Football Association, my good friend, Hani Aburida, whose vision and experience will undoubtedly shape the next chapter of Egyptian football. He has done it before. The FIFA delegation led by the iconic Chief of Global Football, Mr. Arsene Wenger, and the esteemed Director of Global Football, Stephen Martins, whose global expertise in talent development and football innovation is invaluable to our discussions. Leaders of the game, football here present, whose contribution on and off the pitch continue to inspire generations. Football is more than just a sport. It's a platform for access, opportunity and transformation, whether in elite football, grassroots development or player welfare. Our responsibility is to ensure the talent of background is given the right pathway to thrive. As someone deeply involved in players' welfare, education and football development, I believe that collaboration is key. We must bridge the gaps between federations, clubs that nurture talent both and off the pitch. Africa continues to produce world-class players, but access to quality training, education, and post-career opportunities must remain at the forefront. That's why summits like this are crucial, because they bring ideas to life and partnerships into action. I would also like to take a moment to applaud the founder of the Access Football Summit, Mr. Mohamed Fadel and his team. A round of applause, please. For their dedication and vision in bringing us together. Creating a platform for such important conversations and collaborations is no small feat, and your efforts are helping shape the future of football in Africa and beyond. Let us use this opportunity to share, innovate, and make football more accessible, inclusive, and impactful. I look forward to engaging with all of you and learning from the brilliant minds gathered here today. Shukran. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier on, I'm not alone. Of course, we have the audience here with esteemed guests, legends, football leaders who are there. But I think when a man is dressed like that, it's so nice to have a group beside him, the famous Merham.
Thank you.
A round of applause.
This is so nice of you, Anthony. You look great, by the way.
Very welcome. You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you so much.
كله تمام?
كله تمام تمام. It's a pleasure working with you today. I'm so happy to share the stage with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an Egyptian sports TV presenter. For me, it's such an honor to be part of the second edition of Football Access Summit, and it's so thrilling for me actually to be around you, because it's crazy how many of us come from different countries, backgrounds, cultures, and yet we all share one common same passion, which is football. مساء الخير على حضراتكم، سعيدة جدا وبتشرف ان انا موجودة معاكم النهاردة. انا اسمي مرهان عمرو، انا مذيعة رياضة مصرية، وسعيدة ان انا جزء بسيط جدا من النسخة الثانية من فوتبول اكسس سامت، وبتشرف ان انا بنحط كل حضراتكم حاجة عظيمة ان احنا ممكن نكون مختلفين في حاجات كتيرة جدا، ولكن بيبقى حاجة واحدة بتجمعنا وهي شغف وحب كبير جدا لكرة القدم. As I said, it's amazing to be surrounded by all of you, but first I want to welcome, of course, His Excellency, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Dr. Ashraf Sobhi. Also, my greetings to all FIFA leaders, football federations, club figures, and organizations, in addition to, of course, all the football legends and sports legends that are attending with us today and tomorrow, inshallah. طبعا رحبنا بمعالي وزير الشباب والرياضه الدكتور اشرف صبحي، وبكل تاكيد بكل الحضور سواء مسؤولين من الاتحاد الدولي لكره القدم، اتحادات كره قدم مختلفه، انديه ومؤسسات رياضيه، بجانب طبعا اساطير لكره القدم واساطير رياضيه حاضرين معانا سواء النهارده او بكره. We have many ideas and doing them on ground is hard, but keep on going is even harder. In the first edition, we achieved, developed, succeeded, and exchanged experiences from different cultures and sports idols with youth. عندنا أفكار كتيرة بكل تأكيد وكمان رؤية إن احنا نشوفها على أرض الواقع، دي حاجة صعبة جدا، ولكن الاستمرارية بتبقى هي أصعب الملفات. والنسخة الأولى الحمد لله شفنا تطوير وشفنا نجاح في تبادل الخبرات من ثقافات مختلفة وأساطير رياضية مع عناصر مختلفة من الشباب. Football Access Summit is about giving hope and believing in new generations. It's time for youth to develop the football industry and invest all their ideas for better career opportunities. Football Access Summit مؤمن جدا بدور الشباب في التوقيت الحالي والأجيال الجديدة في تطوير صناعة كرة القدم والاستفادة بشغفهم الكبير في الكورة واستثمار كل أفكارهم على أرض الواقع، وده أكيد هيكون بيساعدهم بشكل كبير جدا إن هم يكونوا بياخدوا خطوات مهمة في حياتهم المهنية. Our guests are not only sports icons and experts, but also youth with promising and ambitious projects. Youth who are ready to learn and also to develop their knowledge. احنا ضيوفنا مش بس شخصيات بارزة في عالم الرياضة، لا كمان ضيوفنا عناصر شباب مختلفة ولكن واعدين جدا وعندهم طموحات كبيرة، هم يكونوا بيتعلموا وبيطوروا من نفسهم علشان يكون ليهم أكبر بصمة ممكنة في عالم كرة القدم والاستثمار الرياضي وتحديدا في الكورة اللي طبعا بقالنا سنوات كتيرة جدا بنتكلم عنها.
It's time for me, and
Yes.
I would say, let's have a look at the video.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
فقلب مصر بلد التاريخ ومكان ولادة أبطال الرياضة. بدأنا رحلتنا بفكرة شرارة بسيطة علشان نعيد تشكيل مجال الرياضة بأساس يعتمد على المعرفة والتعليم والاستثمار الحقيقي في المواهب. فكرتنا طلعت من إيمان قوي، إيمان بقوة الرياضة في تغيير الواقع، وبدعم من مجتمع محترفي الرياضة اللي بيؤمنوا بأهمية الفرص. وده اللي خلى فوتبول أكسس سمت أكبر حدث رياضي في مصر والشرق الأوسط، اللي بيجمع رموز الرياضة من كل مكان في العالم. وفي نسخته الأولى كسرنا الحواجز واستضفنا 80 متحدث من 20 دولة بمشاركة من الاتحاد المصري لكرة القدم، الفيفا، الكاف، وأشهر الدوريات العالمية زي لاليغا، NBA وسيري A، بحضور أنتوني بوفو كمقدم رئيسي مع أكثر من 14 مقدم من أفضل مقدمي التلفزيون والراديو علشان يديروا الجلسات النقاشية. مهمتنا كانت واضحة، ومن خلال تنظيم محكم جهزنا برنامج لمدة يومين فيه 23 موضوع متنوع، كل موضوع اتحدد بعناية علشان يغطي كل جوانب الرياضة، من أحدث التوجهات العالمية، اقتصاديات الكرة والتنوع في الرياضة، لحد ازاي تبدأ طريقك في المجال الرياضي. هدفنا ما كانش مجرد توصيل معلومات، احنا كنا عايزين نلهم الناس ونفتح لهم أبواب جديدة، لأن العلاقات والتواصل في بناء. وعلشان كده جهزنا مساحة مخصصة للتواصل بين المحترفين والخبراء علشان يخلقوا علاقات قوية ويتبادلوا الأفكار ويفتحوا طرق جديدة للاستثمار في المستقبل. وده اللي خلى السمت يتحول من حدث تجربة غيرت حياة كل اللي شارك فيها. السنة دي بنكمل المشوار اللي بدأناه وبنفتتح تجربة أقوى واستثنائية بتبتدي وبتكمل بيكم. بنرحب بيكم في فوتبول أكسس سامت في نسخته الثانية 2025.
دلوقتي حابة أدعو الكابتن محمد فضل مؤسس ورئيس فوتبول أكسس سامت لإلقاء كلمته الافتتاحية فليتفضل. Please welcome with me Mr. Muhammad Fadl, founder and chairman of Football Access Summit for his opening speech.
Good evening, everyone. Dr. Ashraf Sobhi, the Minister of Youth and Sport, Captain Hani Bourida, member of FIFA Council, President.
Your introduction.
Very welcome.
Arsene, good to be with you. Something we do very often, being together. So we're gonna have a small talk among us, as if we would be sitting around the coffee table. And I'm gonna ask Arsene, very welcome of course. Everybody knows you as the legendary coach of Arsenal and for many other top teams. Not so many actually, you've been a very loyal coach over the years, didn't go to too many clubs. But for now, for already 5 years, and more than 5 years, you're working in FIFA as the Chief of Global Football Development. What are you doing, Arsene? I don't know.
Now what we are trying to do is to make football better, bigger, all over the world. I was a kid who played after the Second World War, so football was not important, and in the last 30 years football became bigger and bigger. And what I know is that football is basically to do with your body what your brain wants. My brain wants still, but my body doesn't want anymore. So that means we have to educate the body and we have to educate the brain. And that starts very early in life. Fortunately or unfortunately for some, football is played with your feet, but it's much more difficult than with your hand. And that's why the education has to start very early. We sit together here. How can we improve football in the world? And we came to one conclusion. It's education, education, education.
Indeed. So in Arsene, when you and I met at FIFA, of course we started to talk first. It's something different than running a club. It's something different than preparing your players for the next game on Saturday. Running or trying to influence world football is something different. We had a lot of discussions and we came up with what we call the talent development scheme. What is the ambition of the talent development scheme and how did we go about that?
The talent development scheme comes from first from a world analysis where we realized that the best countries in the world, the best 20 countries in the world, FIFA ranking, are the 20 countries at the best level of education. And we asked all the federations in 205 countries, realized that there's a 100% correlation between the quality of the education and the results in the national team. Yeah. And that's why we were thinking, how can we make football global, more competitive all over the world? And we came to the conclusion that we had to help the countries to improve the level of education. That means find the talent, train the talent, educate the coaches in every country, and play the talent. That means create competitions where boys can play.
Indeed, this is in our analysis, talking for instance about the African continent, that there's a very big lack of youth. Here in Egypt, that is a much better situation. There's a lot of youth competitions, but it is a big challenge in many parts of the world. We consider it self-explanatory. There are very youth competitions, but actually that's not always the case.
No, here in Egypt they have made a big effort. Hani is now head of the Egyptian Federation and is conscious of the importance of higher education. But here the structures are quite good, but you still have to wonder how can we produce more good players, can we make football better? And there are things to improve everywhere in the whole world. And let's basically say that the World Cup was, if you sum it up, it was Europe against South America. That's a minor part of the world. The biggest population is outside these two confederations, and we want to see everybody have a chance to win the World Cup.
And that's exactly what you say here too. The world in the football level more competitive. Of our president Gianni Infantino, who says making football truly global, but that means also making football truly globally competitive. Now when we look at Egypt, because we had already quite some good discussions, we have our team here also with Anthony, but also Manouche and Leben, one of our talent ID specialists, and we had chats with the members of the federation and many clubs. But when we look at Egypt, the situation is not bad or problematic, but there can be still a lot done. When we look at Africa as a national team, the African national team, for instance, Egyptian national team.
Well, they have a big history in Africa. They have a less big history in the World Cup. And so that means first thing, they know they can win.
Yes.
And the efficiency learned in your past is very important. They know as well, they have a challenge there. It is in the World Cup that they turn up first regularly, and as well that they have a major role to play. If you can dominate Africa, for me you can dominate the world.
Yeah.
And that has to be that we don't really know. But we know one thing, at some stage in their life, to develop their game, they adjusted their brain to their ambition. And that's why maybe we have, I believe that honestly, you build a player like a house. It's the technical level. It's decided from 5 to 12. At the age of 10, when you watch a young football player play football, you know if he has some talent or not. From 12 to 15, 16, you develop the physical level and the tactical level. How to play with others. After 15, 16, you specialize in a position. From 17 to 20, 21, you develop your capacity to compete. And to compete, that means you play in competitions without being inhibited by the capacity to analyze well your performance, and as well by being motivated to become a great player. The final part is the roof of the house, you know. First floor technique, second floor physical and tactical level, second and third floor, and after you have the roof of the house, and the roof of the house is the mental. That is the last part that comes in, and if you have no roof in a house, it rains in your house and all the rest is useless. So that means that mental aspect at the end of the day makes the player of the top player, but with two jobs that I have experienced in my life is a top level player and the professional football player. They don't do the same job.
And that was something, Arsene, because this mental part, what you're now saying, this top level player privilege and the opportunity, I think it was about two years ago when we went to visit the training grounds in Liverpool. And well, tell about Mo Salah coming up to you, and I was witnessing it when he came to speak to you.
Well, we gave him the award of being in the top 11 of the team.
Correct.
The first question he asked me is, how do you think I can improve?
Yes.
I was amazed be named in the top level team of the world, ask you how can I improve, because he's on the top of the world, and that is a good explanation of what is a top level player. Is somebody who analyzes very well his performance. For me, the common denominator of the top level players is there. They analyze well their performance, but quite harsh with themselves, and they want to go to a higher level permanently.
Let's come back for a second to the nicely put talent pathway that you say there, the technical, the physical, and in the end also the mental part. Now we want to make sure there's more talents getting a chance all over the world. And to do so, we say, as you already said, we need every country, every club needs to first find the right talents to make a difference, as the right ingredients. Talk us about why talent is important and when does it start, does it look?
Talent identification is maybe something that is well done in the world. Comfort reasons, for the fact that people just scout in their own city, and that it's not